Coming up on LUTV News, the national strike against automakers reaches day 38, and a new contract might turn the situation around.
Plus, an update on the loop trolley, as some are calling for an investigation by the federal government.
And the secretly built Planned Parenthood facility in Illinois is now open for business after a grand opening ceremony earlier this week.
Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News.
Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Danielle Lee.
And I'm Ethan Noel. Thanks for joining us.
The General Motors strike hits day 38, but good news may be in store for the Wentzville workers. If workers approve the deal, GM says it will spend $1.5 billion to build the next generation of mid-size trucks at the Wentzville facility. The new agreement promises to retain 2,000 of the nearly 4,000 hourly jobs at Wentzville for at least 4 years. Nationwide, 49,000 workers could be back on the job if the deal is approved. At least one GM plant has narrowly rejected the deal. Several others have approved it. Wentzville workers have until Thursday night to cast their votes.
The St. Louis County Council is asking the federal government to investigate the loop trolley. At a meeting last night, the council questioned how millions of dollars in taxpayer money has been spent. The agency who runs the trolley has asked for at least $500,000 more to keep the trolley running. They say the attraction could be shut down by mid-November if they do not receive the money.
A Missouri man is accused of drunk driving with 3 kids in the car. 33-year-old Justin Pike of St. Joseph, Missouri was charged this week with child endangerment. Court documents say Pike drove 110 miles per hour down a Missouri highway with a 2, 4, and 10-year-old inside the car. Missouri State Highway Patrol troopers say they smelled alcohol on his breath, so they gave him a field sobriety test. Court documents say Pike failed. Pike is still in custody.
The 5-year-old who died in a semi-truck crash on the Poplar Street Bridge has been identified. Emma Wilson was killed when a piece of aluminum weighing over 34,000 pounds hit the semi she was in, causing it to flip. 3 others were hurt, but are expected to be okay.
The not-so-secret Planned Parenthood opens today in Fairview Heights, right outside of the St. Louis area. The new 18,000 square feet location is 13 miles from Missouri's last Planned Parenthood clinic. This new Planned Parenthood was reportedly built in secret to avoid protesters, but they eventually found out anyway. Protesters are lining up outside as clients are making appointments for the first time today. Since 2018, the Central West End location has been Missouri's only legal abortion clinic. A state hearing that may close the Missouri clinic is scheduled for October 28th.
The 3rd child caught in the house fire at the Clinton Peabody House Complex has died. The 3 children were alone in their home when the fire started. 6-month-old Damarion Island unfortunately could not be reached by the fire crew. The other 2, 4-year-old Heaven Coleman and 5-year-old Dream Coleman, were rescued from the burning building, but they unfortunately passed away at the hospital yesterday. An unidentified 23-year-old woman has been taken into police custody. The cause of the fire remains under police investigation.
Ferguson resident Georgia Cotton says dealing with the basement that flooded in August has been the worst experience of her life. Cotton says after learning her neighbor installed his own drainage system, she started having water problems in her basement back in 2016. Cotton says when it rains, it rushes down the hill and onto her patio area, creating a pool of water. Ferguson officials say they have had problems with Cotton's neighbor for years. The city is not able to go on his property due to a no trespassing sign. Officials believe the neighbor built the system without required permits. A court hearing is scheduled for next week.
Parents of a former student at the Premier Charter School have filed a lawsuit against the institution. They claim their son was sexually abused and mocked by fellow students. The lawsuit filed says the teen's parents warned the school about the behavior. The suit also says the school claimed it was a one-time event, while the parents say it was going on for 2 years. We will keep you updated on any advancements in this case. Straight ahead on LUTV News, fall has finally arrived. And whether you are ready for it or not, flu season is here too. Have you gotten your flu shot yet?
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Police are looking for a man who stole puppies from a St. Louis woman at gunpoint. Around 4:30 p.m. Tuesday night in the Kingsway West neighborhood, a man walked up to a 59-year-old woman and asked to see her puppies. Officials say the suspect pulled out a gun in the 5100 block of Terry and took the woman's puppies. The suspect then drove off in a dark gray sedan. An investigation is underway and no one was hurt.
I can't even imagine how that woman felt, Danielle. But thankfully, no one was hurt. And it's really important for us to stay safe now. Speaking of staying safe, have you gotten your flu shot yet?
Funny you asked. I just got mine. The flu virus changes every single year. Now let's go over to Chelsea. I'm sure she knows more about that.
It's that time of year again, flu season. Clinics are giving vaccinations all over the country. But flu shots are not mandatory by law or even necessary by some people's standards. So let's take a look at what medical professionals say versus what regular people say about the flu vaccine. Whether you believe the flu shot will be helpful or not, that's up to you. And people who don't think it's helpful are very outspoken about it.
I think it's kind of a waste of money, to be honest. And you can still get sick from the actual shot itself.
You don't get the flu. That's a myth. You cannot get the flu from getting the flu shot. It's not a live vaccine.
However, to some people, it may not be as important because, well, they get the flu when they get the flu shot. Or is that really the case?
It was last year. I got the flu shot, and then I don't know if it was exactly from the shot, but it was one of the first times I'd ever gotten the flu. I gotten the shot a couple years prior, and I still didn't get sick, but I still didn't get sick without the shot. And then last year I got the shot again, and I got sick.
So your immune system kind of kicks in when you get a vaccine, and so sometimes you'll get a little bit of a headache. Some people run a really, really low-grade fever, but that's kind of your body doing what it's supposed to be doing. Your immune system is kind of activating in response to getting a vaccine, but that's not you getting influenza. You don't get influenza from the flu vaccine.
The flu shot is not a 100% guarantee that someone will not catch the flu. However, if you've made up your mind and decided to not get a flu shot this year, you can still protect yourself. Make sure to wash your hands. The flu virus is very, very contagious.
It's predicted to be a bad flu season this year. Getting your flu vaccine decreases the chance that you're going to get influenza.
If they want to get it, they can get it. They'll probably still get sick. If they don't want to get it, good for them.
I'm reporter Chelsea Behrens for LUTV News. Will you be getting your flu shot today? Back to you, Danielle.
Thank you, Chelsea. Gigham's is a very popular home-style restaurant known for staying open 24 hours. LUTV Jake Adams has the story.
As far as the move goes, I think this is just a great opportunity for us. First of all, from a parking standpoint, we have 47 spaces up there. There's 75 just on the one side over here. So, we've just, increased the parking tremendously. I think that our goal is to come across as a home-style, family, welcoming, friendly environment. We get a pretty wide age group here in our restaurant.
The service, the food is awesome. You can't find better food than this. I'm sorry, but I've been to a lot of restaurants in my life, so I know that this is probably the best. They always recognize you, and as soon as you come in the door, they always greet you. So that means a lot. When you go into some restaurants, they never recognize the fact that you're even there. And then when they sit at the table, sometimes you don't see them for another 5 to 10, 15 minutes. So that's something I never worry about with Gingham's. It's always promptness. They're right there. They're going to take care of you, and they'll do the best they can. And if they can't, they'll find a way to do it.
Lindenwood is filled with so many talented students. I was lucky enough to sit down with aspiring singer-songwriter Blake Nolan recently. Nolan tells me why he chose Lindenwood and what his ultimate musical goals are.
The way I got into music was at a young age. I was part of a lot of rock bands and in the Chicagoland area. So when I auditioned for these bands, they would put me in the lead singer. And then after I was lead singer for a while, from about like age 12, I started getting more into guitar. And that's when I first got into Summerfest, which is the largest music festival in the world. That was in Milwaukee. And so once I got into that, I started writing my own music and starting my own solo career, which brings me to today. To further my career in a more professional way, I came to Lindenwood University to pursue a music business degree. And that will help me produce music, which I actually just did about 2 months ago. I released my first single, Standstill, on Apple Music, Spotify, and all these different streaming services, because that was my biggest goal to come to Lindenwood, was to make my own music and then be able to share it across all those platforms.
I really enjoy Blake's music, especially being a roommate of his, because it's nice to hear it all the time when he's just practicing and playing and helping teammates learn how to play as well.
You know, I've been playing live forever for so many years in different bands, and now in a solo career. I wanted to make it more broad and reach a bigger audience than just the people I'm playing for in those gigs. I'm at a standstill with all my wrongs.
Halloween is around the corner, and a Tennessee man decided to think outside the box with his 910-pound pumpkin. For the past 4 years, Justin Omby has tried to reach his goal of growing a 1,000-pound pumpkin. His wife, Kristen, says back in May, Omby planted a seed that weighed more than 1,700 pounds. On Monday night, Omby hollowed out the pumpkin and started paddling around in their pond on their property. Kristen says he's hoping to break the $1,000 pound mark next year.
If you're looking for a challenge this Halloween season, McCamey Manor Haunted House in Summertown, Tennessee is the place to go. The house has never had a person successfully make it through the whole tour. It requires a 40-page signed waiver, a safe word, a past physical, and a 2-hour-long video that has to be watched. If you want to try and make it through the house, a bag of dog food is the only thing you need for payment. And if you can complete the whole tour, you can win a cool $20,000. Which means, Danielle, I think we need to make a trip to Tennessee and make an easy $20K this weekend.
I'm down for sure. You know I love a good adventure and scare. Speaking of scare, I wonder what's going on with the weather. Marlena?
Thank you, Danielle. It will be scary for sure. A tornado hit Missouri and left some serious damage. Also, be ready to have a jacket for the rest of October as temperatures will drop down. More on that when we come back.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat eat, eat apples and bananas. I need to eat, eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat, eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Oh, Vanessa. You gonna text her back?
Nope. I'm high. I'm gonna hit the treadmill.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
We need to go meet the guys. I'm lit. Can you drive?
Nope. I'm high. How about they come over?
Where?
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
A small tornado reached the small town of Sparta early Monday morning with winds up to 90 miles per hour. It damaged homes and knocked trees down. So far, no one has been hurt. The mayor of Sparta, Jenny Davis, says a fallen tree blocked her from turning the alarm. Davis says that right now there is no way to let the town know of future weather warnings and is encouraging the community to find other sources. October will wrap up with some really cold temperatures as a cold front covers most of the U.S. In the past couple of weeks, cold air in the Midwest has lasted 1 or 2 days, but by the end of this week, the air will lock in until Halloween or the first week of November. Low temperatures by early next week are expected to be between 10 to 30 degrees lower for late October. Let's take a look at our local map. Overall, it seems like we have around the same temperatures. In St. Charles, it is 71 and partly cloudy, and in Maryland Heights, it's 71 and sunny. St. Louis is 70 and sunny as well. And moving on to St. Peter's and O'Fallon, both are 70 and sunny, but don't let this fool you. Temperatures will drop down quickly as the day goes by. Let's check that out on our 5-day forecast. Today, the high will be of 72 with a low of 45, so make sure to wear something warm, especially if you're planning on going to the Carnival later tonight. It's going to be a chilly day on Thursday. We will have a high of 51 and a low of 42, and we will also have few showers throughout the day. Friday will be mostly cloudy. The high will be 55 with a low of 42, and later in the day we will have some light showers. On Saturday, we will have a slightly better temperature with a high of 59 and a low of 45, but it will be overcast and with rain showers throughout the day. Finally, on Sunday, the temperature will rise and the sun will come out. Just make sure you head home early to stay warm and cozy. That's all for weather. Let's see what Jake has for us with sports.
Coming up after the break, the NBA kicked off its season last night with 2 games, the World Series update, and the Blues are back on the right track.
Very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
The NBA season officially kicked off last night with 2 games. The Toronto Raptors faced the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Los Angeles Clippers faced the Los Angeles Lakers. Not only was it opening night for the season itself, but the Raptors also received their 2018-2019 championship rings. The Raptors would use that excitement to carry them through the game and eventually get the win in overtime by a score of 130 to 122 over the Pelicans. The Clippers opened their season against the Lakers, and it was a hard-fought game, but the Clippers would come out victorious with a 112-102 win. The first game of the World Series took place last night in Houston between the Astros and the Washington Nationals. Houston got off to a hot start by scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Garrett Cole got the start for the Astros, and he was on his game. But 20-year-old outfielder Juan Soto was the exception. Soto went 3 for 4 with a stolen base. One of those 3 hits was a home run in the 4th inning off of Cole. The Astros slowly climbed back in the 8th and the 7th innings, but Nationals closer Sean Doolittle would shut the door to secure the save. The Nationals now lead the series 1-0. The St. Louis Blues are back in the win column after last night's 3-1 win over the Colorado Avalanche. Vladimir Tarasenko would be a key to this win. Tarasenko recorded 3 points in the win. He made an assist in the first period that set up Braden Shen on a power play goal to put the Blues up 1-0. 2 minutes later, Colorado responded with a power play goal of their own to tie it at 1. Then, in the second period, Tarasenko sets up David Perron, who fires one past Colorado goalie to put the Blues up 2-1. Later in the second period, Tarasenko joins the scoring party with an assist from Jaden Schwartz to put the Blues up 3-1. The Blues will play tomorrow at 9 at night at home against the Los Angeles Kings at 7 p.m. For years, Cardinals fans have been saying that they're the best fans in baseball. But now there may be some evidence to back that up. According to Wallet Hub, Cardinals fans are the 3rd best fans in baseball, following New York and Los Angeles, respectively. Wallet Hub looked at 31 different elements, including things like ticket price per game, championships, and stadium capacity. But when it comes to average attendance, the Dodgers are in first with just over 49,000 fans per game. The Cardinals are in second with just over 42,000 fans per game, and the Yankees are third with just about 41,000 fans per game. So either way, Cardinals fans are no doubt one of the best fan bases in baseball. The St. Charles Boxing Club has an event every year. To get more information on that event, LUTV's Rolando Dupuy has the story.
I'm also a coach for the St. Charles Boxing Club. Today we're having it's a special night. We're having a night of fights here at the St. Charles Banquet Hall. We got like 3 fighters from the gym. They are coming in here tonight, participating in this event, and we are very excited to have you guys here. Best part that we have here at this event is that we have brand new fighters, trying something different, fighting for the first time in their life. For the past 6 months, they've been training for this event. Some people they've been training for this for the past couple years. So tonight's the night that they are able to display, their workout. They are able to put together everything that they've been working so hard for. So that's why what makes this night very special.
I've been boxing for about a year now. This is my first fight. I won by first round knockout. And this show's for Frost. It's a appliance company, and they have a show once a year to raise money for our gym.
I've been fighting for the past 20 years, and I remember my first fight was back in 2003. So it's been over more than 15 years that I've been fighting. Every year, this has been one of the mecca of boxing. St. Louis, the heart of St. Charles. This being the show that is produced by Jimmy Howell, and it's every year. Like everybody's asking for this event. Like I got people that I know that they've been working so hard just to fight in this show.
If you'd like more information about the St. Charles Boxing Club, you can visit their Facebook page. Just search for St. Charles Boxing Club. That's all for sports. Now back to Danielle and Ethan.
That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Ethan Noel.
And I'm Danielle Lee. Thanks for joining us.